demonstrated for everybody. Today I have a Tabata workout for us. We're going to need a towel or a slam ball if you have it. I'm going to be using a towel. And then one set of dumbbells on the lighter side. I'm going 8s. I might have even gone 5s, but I decided that I'm going to challenge myself. This workout is sure to get our heart rate up, our blood flowing, our muscles trembling, all those good things. Now is the time to play your music, get it going, get that music pumping, getting you revved up. We're going to start with a warm-up. We have 6 Tabata sets in our workout, and I hope you have time to stay for the cool down. All right, team, let's do this. We're going to start our warm-up with a march, so just an opposite arm, opposite knee march. And then beginning to exaggerate the movement, making it bigger as you get warmer. I don't know about where you are, but it's cool for here outside today. Last week we had 80s and 90s weather, which is odd for November, even in Southern California. And today it's about 60 maybe, and super foggy and cold. All right, we're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, step your feet wide, and we're just gonna reach across. So warming up into the core, the side body. And pulling those hands back, you know, kind of like you're slamming open a screen door. And then just making it a little faster. 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking it up and over. There will be some overhead pressing in the workout today. That one set that I said we use the dumbbells for has some overhead pressing. So think about pulling the elbow down into your side, warming up the chest, upper back, and the legs here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, keep your feet wider than hip width, all 10 toes facing forward. Bend into the right knee. Oh, feels so good on the left inner thigh. Something I did yesterday. Keeping your chest long, your back flat, and your gaze forward towards your screen or whatever you're watching this on. Remembering to sit back like a squat in that bent leg. Weight is back in the heel. Squeeze the glute and the hamstring to come up. Let's do one more, each side. All right, step your feet in, come to the back of your mat. We're gonna squat down, bringing our hands to our shoelaces. I just realized I'm not wearing shoes, which is fine. You don't have to wear shoes as long as you're on a soft surface. If you prefer to wear shoes, you can wear shoes. And then just kind of move your hips from side to side. And then come to center, keeping your hands on your shoelaces, straighten your legs, nice stretch for the hamstrings. And then bend it back down, chest lifts, tailbone draws down, straightening into those hamstrings, warming them up. And then warming up our hips here as we drop down into that frog squat, stretching the hip flexors. And then feeling so good when we come into that forward fold. I think I could do this all day, but we only have time for about 2 more. And then this time, walking it out to a plank, tapping right palm to left shoulder, left palm to right shoulder. Walk it back, come up to stand, and then we'll do a few more walkouts. Tapping the shoulders, there will be some push-ups in our workout today, so thinking about if you want to do those on your knees or on your toes. They will be in our first Tabata set. All right, this last one, after we do our shoulder taps, we're gonna stay down in our plank. So step your right hand to the outside of your right foot, coming into that world's greatest stretch, bringing the elbow down to the inside of the foot, and then peeling open from the belly button. The next time we're gonna stay open, and we're just gonna do some arm circles here, bracing through your core. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the palm to the inside of the foot, step the right foot back, step the left foot forward. Again, world's greatest stretch. Elbow drops to the floor on the inside of the left foot as you peel it open. This time holding it and then doing those arm circles with the left. Bracing the core. Last 2. And 1. Bring the palm back down, step back to a high plank, and then we're going to step up for some walking burpees. Squat down, palms to the mat, step the feet back, come back up to stand. There will be some burpees in our workout, so this is an alternative to jumping. Don't turn the video off because you heard me say burpees. You can do this, that's what you're here for. I'm watching you. All right, and 1 more. All right, hopefully you feel thoroughly warm. I certainly do. Our first Tabata set is going to be push-ups and planks. And the way it's gonna work is, it's kind of like I'll call it crazy eights. So in the first 20-second Tabata, I'm doing 1 push-up and holding a plank. Then in the second 20-second increment, I'm doing 2 push-ups and holding a plank. And then in the third, we're doing 3 push-ups and holding a plank. And I bet you can guess how many we're gonna do in the 4th round, the 5th round, the 6th round, the 7th round, and the 8th round. All right, team, ready or not, here we go. Go ahead and come down onto that mat in your high push-up, high plank, top of a push-up pose. Remember, 1 push-up, and then a plank hold. So when we hear that bell, I am going to come down to my knees for a few seconds to shake out my arms. Seems easy enough this first time, doesn't it? All right, come down to my knees. I'll let you know when we have 3 seconds left, and I'll make my way back into a high plank. Already 3 seconds, high plank. We have 2 push-ups. Creating that capital letter A with my elbows as they come back 45 degrees. Okay, squeeze your quads, hug your butt in, pull your belly button back, press the ground away. We've got this, easy peasy. Okay, come down to your knees, shake out the arms. All right, ready position, high plank, getting ready for 3 push-ups this time. From your knees or from your toes. And a plank hold. So I think we should be able to get all 8 in that final round. I think 8 push-ups in 20 seconds is doable. All right, quick rest. Arms are starting to get tired, legs are starting to get tired. All right, ready position, 4 push-ups this time. And the rest is that easy peasy plank shorter. 5, 6, 7. The bad news is there's a lot of push-ups in there. Okay, you guys, we've got this. One more round. You can do it. Don't give up. If you need to go down to your knees, go down to your knees. But if you can do it from your toes, join me. 8 push-ups. Final round. That's halfway for me. 7 seconds left. Oh, that was hard. Okay, hold the plank. Woo! Okay, grab a sip of water. Our next Tabata is burpees and high knees. So it's 1 burpee first round, then the rest of the round is high knees. 2 burpees the second round, then high knees. Remember that walkout burpee we did in the warm-up? You can absolutely do that here, and if you aren't running the high knees, you can march the high knees just like we did in our warm-up. I'm not coming down into a push-up for my burpee. We have 5 seconds. When you hear the bell, we have 1 burpee. So it's more like a snap. Hop the feet back, and then it's high knees for the remainder of the 20 seconds. And pump those arms, get those knees up high. This is gonna be a lot of cardio. The good news is, our next Tabata after these 8 rounds is going to be a strength. Woo! 10 seconds to catch your breath. This round, 2 burpees, high knees. So the burpees almost feel like a vacation. Almost. Maybe they do. All right, get those knees up, elbows pumping. All right, 3rd round, 3 burpees. Oh yeah, heart rate is up. High knees. Okay, on to the 4th round. Catch your breath. These rounds are fast and furious. 4 burpees. Squat, clamp the hands, step back. 4, 3, 2, 1. High knees. Try to break the plane of your hips with your knees. All that towel or slam ball slam. So you're gonna bring it up overhead, slam it down, and then we're gonna hold a squat for the remainder. So we'll do 1 slam in the first set, 2 slams in the second, and so on until we get to 8. We're on in 5 seconds. Grab that towel, slam, pick it up, and hold your squat. Booty back, chest lifted. You can pulse if you want. Whew, that almost felt easy after those burpees and push-ups. Okay, 2 slams, squat hold. We're on in 3, 2, 1. Use your core. That's you slam it down and then hold that squat. So I'm doing more of a goblet squat, more of a sumo squat. So my heels and toes are in a line. My toes are slightly pointing out. Woo! Okay, 3 slams, 3, okay, not 3 squats. That was wishful thinking. 3 slams and all squats from there. 1, 2, 3. Hold and pulse. Squeeze those butts. Get that ass lower to the ground, ass to grass. Working the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes. Woo! Okay, if my count is correct, which it often isn't, but I'm pretty sure it is this time. We're on to 4 towel slams. So if you have that slam ball, this is probably getting pretty heavy by now. 1, 2, so it's like a crunch. 3, 4, as I slam it down. And then pulse. So my tendency is to look down. Don't look down. There's no saving you down there. It's all up here. Okay, on to 5. In 5 seconds we go. Bring that towel or that slam ball up overhead. Crunch and slam. 2, 3, 4, 5, and pulse. Get a little lower. Sit back a little bit more. All right, we're on to 6, friends. Ready position. Slam. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pulse. Oh, we're gonna make 8, no problem. We have 11 seconds left after those 6. Makes me so happy. Doesn't it make you that happy? All right, my legs are starting to feel it. On to set number 7. Ready position. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pulse. Okay guys, one last round, which is the beauty of Tabata, right? Is that it goes by so fast. Ready position. Let's do it. 8, 7, harder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 seconds left. Get it lower, guys. Pulses, pulses, pulses. Squeeze. Oh, all right. So you're going to be super excited to hear what our next 2 exercises are. Our climbing ladder exercise is a star jump. So it's a squat down, spread the legs, spread the arms, and then for the remainder of the 20 seconds, we get to do jumping jacks. 1 star jump the first round, 2 the second, 3 the third. You got it, you're experts by now. We're starting in 6 seconds. Come down into that squat and get ready for that cheerleader move and then jumping jacks. and then jumping jacks. Lift the corners of your mouth as your arms lift. Okay, just like that, we're on to 3 star jumps. How are we on our 3rd round already? So these always make me think of Mary Catherine Gallagher's, if you watched Saturday Night Live in the 90s. 1, 2, 3. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine her tucking her hands in your armpits. You don't know what I'm talking about. You're like, oh my God, what is she talking about? Look it up on YouTube when we're done with the video. All right, 4 star jumps. Let's make them bigger. Like we're that cheerleader out on the field, super excited. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. We're gonna finish 8, no problem. We got 13 seconds left there for these jumping jacks. All right, we just did 4. You know what's next? It's not 3. All right, ready position, team. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, on to 6. Starting to feel a little winded. That's good. We're supposed to. That's what Tabata is all about. So keep that chest nice and proud. Gaze forward. That was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big jumping jacks. Let's go. Don't quit now. Remember, you got your 10 seconds to rest. All right. We only have 7 and 8 left. That's it. Well, then we have 2 more Tabata sets. All right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It. Cue Kelly Clarkson. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay. We only have 1 more set left. I hope you're out of breath. That means that you're doing your Tabata right. Short period of time, all out work. We've got 8 of them. 8, 7, jump a little higher. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and jumping jacks for 7, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right. Are you a palms on your knees to breathe or palms behind your head person? Whichever you are, do it to catch your breath. Okay. The next move is the one that we will need the dumbbells for. Like the Friends episode, the one where, this is the one where we're gonna need the dumbbells. So it's a V-sit with an overhead press, and then hold the V-sit with the elbows in the overhead press. We're on in 4, 3, 2, 1. Overhead press, hold the V-sit. The first round, challenge yourself to have your feet off the mat. If it gets to be too much, you can bring the feet back down to the mat. Ooh, this is why I said maybe 5-pound dumbbells, but I've got 8. That's what I'm using. Okay, we're back up in that V-sit in 3, 2, 1. 2 presses. Palms face forward the entire time. And then imagine that string, the puppeteer, is lifting your chest up towards the ceiling. You can squeeze your inner thighs in towards one another, heels facing out. I don't know about you, but I'm shaking like mad. Okay, sometimes these tiny moves are the hardest ones of all. Back into that V-sit, we've got 3, 1, sets of this, but we do, and we're gonna do each one of those 5. We are not quitters, we are not half-assers. We put our whole ass into everything here. Okay, come back up into that V-sit for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, perfect, 10 seconds left. Remember, you can always put your feet flat on the ground. I hope you can see how badly I'm shaking. Oh, my core is on fire. I'm gonna feel this tomorrow. Okay, round 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And keep those front ribs knitting in together and down towards your hips. Lift your chest a little higher because you can. I think we have 6 left. I know I'm making a terrible face. I can't see the timer very well. Okay, we're back up for 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and hold. Gosh, sometimes you forget, right? I was like, oh, 6, I'm done. I can put it down. No such luck. Okay, 2 more rounds, that's it. Just 2 more 20-second work intervals. And we're back up into our V-sit. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift higher. Okay, now I'm really hearing Kelly Clarkson. We have 1 more round, and we are going to do it because that's what we do. 8, 7, 6. I was going to have us do this just standing. 5, no V-sit. 4, 3, 2, and 1 with 5 seconds to spare. And I thought, no, that's too easy for us. And I think it would have been, but wowza, that was something right there. Okay, so this brings us to our final Tabata round. We have lunge jumps and plank jacks. So left plus right is 1 lunge jump, and then you hop out into a plank for plank jacks for the remainder of the cycle. So we'll do, 1 through 8, and we start in 5 seconds. So step 1 foot back to start in that lunge jump. And if a lunge jump isn't right for you, you can do a scissor jump. Be mindful of how you come up to stand. Okay, we're on for 2 lunge jumps, which is actually 4 because left and right makes 1. 1, 1, 2, 2. Hop the feet together, hop them back, plank jacks. If you want to make this harder, you tap opposite palm to opposite shoulder, just like we did in our warm-up. And our gaze is always forward. I just caught myself looking back. I don't know what I was looking for. Okay, so now it's 6 lunge jumps, which is 3. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Hop the feet together, squat down, plant the palms, and jack the feet out. You can step it, and if you want it extra spicy today, you're tapping opposite palm to opposite shoulder. Okay, 8 lunge jumps this time because it's really 4 left and right makes 1. And we're on 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Hop the feet together, squat down, hop back to plank, and jack. actually 10. Probably like, shut up, no. I'm gonna start with my right foot because I started left last time. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Pop the feet together, plant the palms, step it back. Okay, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, I was 6, afraid 7, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Hop the feet together. Plank, jacks. So you get a little burpee action in there too. Okay. Round 7. Heart rate is up there where it's supposed to be. We're alive. We can do this. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. With enough time left that we're going to be able to get all 8 in. This last round. Join me, team. We have 4 seconds left until we do our final round. 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5. Halfway. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Hop it down into that plank and jack. Okay. Let's stay down here for a second. Don't bring your head below your heart. Just catch your breath. I'm going to turn this timer off. That was a 26-minute and 30-second work block. We had about a 5-minute warm-up, which makes this a 30-minute total body, kick your butt, kicked mine workout. I'm going to come into a half kneeling position. Right knee is bent, left knee is back. Not unlike that lunge we just did, but we're holding it. We're stretching the front of the left hip. Bring the arms up, drop the shoulders. Head is over the shoulders, shoulders are over the hip. Drop the right arm down to the right side. Draw your left shoulder back and up and over. I guarantee you're feeling a nice stretch in the front of your left hip right here. And come back. Bring the palms down to frame the right foot. Bring the right foot back. Step the left foot forward. Same thing. Slight scoop of the tailbone really deepens into that stretch in front of the hip flexor. I'm imagining that I'm pulling my left hip back isometrically and my right hip is isometrically drawing forward. Drop the left hand over to the left. Bring the right thumb back and then reach up and over that imaginary barrel on the left to really stretch the right hip and the right side body. Continue drawing that right thumb back, chest and gaze up. Come back up with the left hand, bring the left hand to frame the left foot. Come into a quick plank and press back to downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet. So taking your dog for a walk, taking a nice deep bend in the right knee, bringing the entire sole of the left foot to the mat, and then switching it out. Hopefully your heart rate has dropped enough from that workout that it's okay to be in this downward facing dog. If it's not, be smart and listen to your body, and you can do a seated figure 4 stretch. Okay, we're going to step our right foot up for half pigeon. Bringing the right knee behind the right wrist, bending into that knee as much as you need to square your hips to the front of your space. So like there's little headlights on the fronts of your hips and they're shining forward, like one's not off to the left and one kind of at a diagonal. So if that's the case, you need to bend into that knee. Because if you're trying to force that knee to be parallel to the front of the mat and your body isn't ready for it, you're going to twist over to the left, and that's not doing anything to stretch this outer right hip. So if you are someone who is super flexible, I want you to think about engaging your outer hips, guiding the right hip back, isometrically guiding the left hip forward like you're digging the knees into the mat to keep that muscle engagement before you surrender any further into that pigeon. And then coming on to the right hip, gently guiding the left leg out long. We're going to straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And you're going to lengthen up and out of your waist and then fold forward. Flex the right toes back towards your knee. And again, like your thumb is kind of guiding that right hip back, left hip forward, and then your shoulders aren't up like Frankenstein earrings around your ears. Oh, I've got a hair situation going on, huh? Whatever, it's not a beauty pageant. You might come here looking hot, but you better leave a hot mess. And then come back up. And we're gonna make our way into downward facing dog once again. And then come into half pigeon on the left. Left knee behind the left wrist. And then again, where are those headlamps? Is the knee bent enough for the headlamps to be shining forward? Engage the outer hips by isometrically contracting, drawing the left hip back, right hip forward, opening up your chest like you were in an upward facing dog, and then crawling it forward. And not collapsing down onto the left or the right side, keeping some space between your left and right side and your mat. And when you feel even, roll onto the left hip, bring the right leg around, and then this time, lengthen, straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, sole into the inner left thigh, and then come down. Lengthen up and out of your waist. Likely the right shoulder has come up higher than the left, so gently nudge the right shoulder down in line with the left. Flex the left toes back towards the knee. And then think about the belly melting towards that left thigh more than your forehead coming towards your shin. And then slowly walking it up. And then we're going to come into a frog squat like we started, just hands on the shoelaces, shimmying the hips from side to side. And when you're ready to stand, you're going to straighten into the legs, coming into a forward fold, and then just slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. Thank you for working out with me, guys. I'm going to give you a virtual high five. Give yourself a pat on the back. You did it. Nice job. I will see you back here next time. And if you need some more workouts in between the new releases, just go back through. There's so many workouts on my channel. Thank you for being here. Stay well.